Rock and roll Chicago. Rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
Hey, this is Paul Martin
And Ray the Roadie.
for the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. How you doing, Ray?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Good. Forget about it. I'm all right.
Yeah, no, I'm over here by the Jewels there, down by there, not too far there from Soldiers Field.
Okay, good. What are you doing over there?
I'm looking for some shoes.
Okay, blue suede ones. We did that. That was last week.
No, I'm looking for
Couple weeks ago.
I'm looking for some concrete shoes.
Oh, concrete shoes.
Yeah, I gotta take care of somebody here.
I see. Hope it's not me, is it?
No, it's not you.
Okay.
Done me wrong, man.
All right. Okay, good. Glad it's not me.
Yeah, he's some kind of a wise guy, you know?
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take care of this.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Why that?
We're talking to the Wiseguys today.
Oh, that's great. I can use them then.
Yeah, they may be able to help you out.
They might be able to help me out with my issue that I have.
That's right. So we're talking to the Wiseguys. They come from up Northbrook, Illinois. Let's see what they have to say for themselves.
I think I got some boys up there in that Northbrook, Illinois area there.
I don't know if they come down to the south side, though.
Yeah, they might come. Yeah, they might stay up north. Then they all don't come down to the south side.
I have to find somebody else to take care of your business.
I just might have to. You know, there is that dividing line, that Madison Avenue thing.
Yes.
So they got to stay in their neck of the woods. Alrighty, I gotta mix up this concrete here. You can go ahead and get this thing started.
All right, let's see what the Wiseguys had to say. Welcome to the show, everyone. Today we're talking with the Wiseguys. How you guys doing?
Hey guys,
We're doing great.
All right.
Doing great. Good to be here.
Good. So tell us a little bit about the band, how the band gets started, how long has the band been together, and how'd you get the name?
Well, the name was a little bit of a project because we were all just a little bit older and we got together and we just we had to come up with a name last minute because we booked a gig, you know, and we said we're a little bit older. How about the Wiseguys? And we went through all kinds of names, and so just like last minute, and we asked friend Stacy and her friend Kelly Avocola, and they were from a band called Smells Like Dave Grohl. And yeah, right. And they said, yes, good, go with it. So we went with the Wiseguys for that show, and then it kind of stuck because we were a little bit older and wiser, you know, a little older and wiser.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how they came up with that name for their band, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
Smells like Teen Spirit.
how we started about 4 years ago. We had a card game going in Buddy's house, and then Lenny decided that he wanted to learn how to play music. So instead of playing cards down the street at George's house, they started to just jam. A couple of guys would get together and jam in his basement. And about 4 or 5 months later, I found out about it. And I go, hey, Lenny, you guys playing music? And he goes, yeah. He goes, wow, I play guitar. He goes, really? I didn't know you played guitar. I go, yeah, I hack around, you know.
I thought you just played cards, right?
Yeah. And so I go, well, okay, we're putting together a bowling night on a Friday with a bunch of high school guys. And so we said, okay, I'm going to bring my guitar to the bowling alley. And then afterwards, we go back to Lenny's house. And there was about 4 guitar players, 2 drummers, a singer. And so we put one of the drummers on bass. They had been working on a few songs at that time, but we really didn't have any songs down. And all of us were really novices. We were not players. I had never been in a band before. And little by little, we hammered out the ability to play 5 or 6 songs. Well, that was 4 years ago, and that was Wiseguys Mark 1. We're now Wiseguys Mark 6. So we replaced a couple of guys along the way, and the only guys from the original band are Lenny and myself.
Okay.
And we brought in there's a couple of ringers, the Arrigo brothers and Jim Petty. Yeah. And that's who we are now.
I see. So you're JT.
I'm JT.
You're a guitar player.
I'm the guitar player and lead masseuse.
I see.
I go around during our shows and give all the pretty girls massages.
I see.
During
On a break or when?
with happy ending.
I see.
I didn't get my rub and tug yet.
Don't get these guys started.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, so originally this stemmed through a card game on Friday nights. We're all friends. We used to play cards Friday night. And then I built this house in Northbrook. We went from the garage down the street from my house to my house. And so these guys walk in, and I got a couple guitars. I got a couple guitars sitting there on the stands. And they start grabbing, they grab my guitars. They start playing. They start jamming and stuff. And, so I got a poker room. Now, guys are ready to play poker, but everybody's, in the jamming, right? So everybody keeps jamming. So now the card game was getting disrupted because we kept jamming, So, a couple of weeks later, one of my buddies brings over, one of the card players, he brings over a drum kit, Dave Lupfer, okay? And so he brings over this kit, and he sets it up. It was an electronic kit, right? So now we're jamming. Now we got guitars, we got drums, we're jamming, and now the guys in the card room are like, man, you guys are so friggin' loud. He's like, I don't know about this card game, So, but we wanted to keep jamming. So we kept jamming and jamming. Next thing you know, these guys are moving my furniture around. They're getting rid of my couches, and they're making room for the stage and stuff, So I went with it, we were having fun. And, then we said, hey, somebody said, hey, you guys want to play out? You guys want to do some gigs, play some gigs? We said, sure. Then back to Smells Like Dave Grohl. They were playing a gig down the street and from us. And they said, hey, you guys want to open for us? And we said, sure. We'll play like 5, 6, 7 songs, whatever. He said, sure. So that was our first gig, really.
Where was that, Lenny?
Where was that at?
Oh, that was at at a backyard bash, outdoor bash. It was really, really good. George and Stacy and men's outdoor bash. It was a really fun event. Lots of people, lighting. Just 1 acre of land, Northbrook. So
Yeah, but a couple weeks after that, where were we?
Well, no. Well, that was our first gig together. And then we wound up playing at the Cubby Bear. We wound up opening for Smells Like Dave Grohl at the Cubby Bear.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got serious. So this is how we're here today. As our average age went from like upper 50s down to like mid 40s, because some of the guys were really serious about playing, and some of the guys just wanted to have a good time. And we had a couple guys in a band that just kind of came over on Fridays to have a good time. And, some of us wanted to get more serious. So
So Lenny, what do you do in the band?
Well, right now I sing in a band. I used to play guitar in a band, but we had a falling out with our singer, and we had a lot of guitars in the band. So I said, hey, I'll give it a shot, So like Bon Jovi said, give it a shot. Yeah, but so I gave it a shot, and I actually, Franco is working with me on vocals, with the breathing and all the vocal techniques,
right,
vocal exercises. And I have another female coach, Rachel Williams. She's really good. If you see our video, she's in our video singing with us, on a couple of shows. But so I really took it serious, and I got serious with Franco and Rachel, and I wanted to do good for the band. So yeah, I enjoy singing, doing what I'm doing, and these guys are really good players. So
right,
together we make a really, really good team, and we're all serious about it. So
yeah. we got Jimmy too. Jimmy, what do you do, Jimmy?
I play the bass. I'm the new guy.
Yeah,
New guy.
How new?
It's been almost 2 years now.
Okay.
yeah, but he's really experienced. He's really, really good.
So did you play with someone before this, or?
I've been playing bass for about 45 years.
Okay, it's been a little while then. So who have you played with? Anybody we might know?
No one that stands. I played with Mistaken Identity for like 20 years.
Okay, what bands have you opened for?
We opened for Chicago.
Really?
I've opened for Chicago 6 times with them.
Wow.
And the last time was this last November at the Rialto right here in Joliet.
Oh, yeah. Right down the street here.
Yep.
Very cool.
It's a cool theater.
Yes, it is. So, so you got some history behind you, huh?
Yeah. I lived in Denver for 8 years and I couldn't find a job, but I'm like, well, I play bass. So I ended up playing music to make money. And I made more money than my friends that had day jobs. But I did a lot of traveling.
Denver, a good market for that?
Back then, it was if you were like in with the agents to get the good rooms, because there was only like maybe 5 good rooms right in Denver.
Right.
So other than that, you had to travel. So I played all over Wyoming, and Nebraska, and all the neighboring states, Utah, New Mexico.
Anything with a new. How about New York?
Yeah.
Never played in New York. Been there a million times, but never played there.
So DJ, you must be the drummer, right?
He's the lead guitarist. Yeah.
I'm not the drummer of the band, but my brother is.
Oh, your brother is.
Yeah, so
He's not here today, right?
No.
And his name is
Chris Arrigo.
Chris. All right.
Christopher Michael Arrigo. we
We don't want to leave him out. That's right.
Yeah, Dad named us stage names. I'm Daniel James. He's Christopher Michael.
Nice.
Arrigo is our last name. But so Jim.
It's a good Italian name.
Arrigo. Here we go. Here we go. 2 R's for rock and roll. Here we go. Arrigo. I actually played bass in the band first. I started. The neighbors down the street, George and Stacy. I was at a party, and George decided to bring me over. And he's like, "Hey, they got a band." And I remember I had a broken foot at the time. I came over with a cast on or a boot, and
I remember that night.
So I come over and. You remember that night?
I do. You know why? I remember that night because our rehearsals were on Friday nights, right?
Yeah.
And people would stop by and we'd have some fun. And he came by, and when he walked in, he just had this smile on his face, and we're jamming, we're having fun, right? And we take a little break. He grabs a guitar, and he's got a walking boot on because he had broken his toe or something at work.
Yeah.
So he's got this walking boot on. And so he takes his guitar and he's jamming, playing. All of a sudden, he takes his walking boot off, and boom, he starts playing guitar with his walking boot. I'm like, this guy can play, man. This guy can play.
I was playing slide guitar with my plastic boot.
Nice.
I was pretty lit. I just trying to make these guys laugh. They're all really cool guys. I didn't even meet them yet. I just started playing with them.
Well, I had actually seen you play at the 545 Club. George and I went to see you and Chris up in Lincolnshire, Libertyville. And then we also saw you playing on Waukegan Road in Glenview. Mm-hmm. But so I knew who you were, and I knew Chris. So, and here today they're in the band. So small world. But
Jim actually, we used to play in a band together, and we were playing at 545. But so I called Lenny, and I'm like, "Hey man, I had such a good time, and." He was taking guitar lessons, and I started actually teaching him. He asked me if I could play bass, and I'm like, well, I'll give it a shot. Sure. And I started actually playing bass in the band. And then fast forward a little bit, I moved on to guitar, my main instrument, and then I called Jim. And Jim actually knew the old drummer. They grew up together, and it's just a small world,
Right.
So now he's on bass. My brother, we got our power trio, and Lenny and JT. It's the Wiseguys now.
How long you been with him?
It seems like yesterday, but it's like over 3 years now.
yeah,
It feels like a blink of an eye. I barely I was like 28 or 27. It was my golden birthday, I think. It was 27.
What are you, 31 now?
31. 30 fun.
And 30 fun. He's 30 fun, and your brother Chris is 32.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did your toe ever heal?
It did, but now I'm breaking legs now because every night we play, I'm breaking it.
Well, because he's in the Wiseguys, he's breaking legs, you know?
I got you.
Breaking bones too.
Yes. Yes.
Keeping it real.
Yeah.
So as a guitar player, what kind of guitar do you play?
I play Les Paul's electric guitar.
Les Pauls, yeah.
I got a Marshall sounding amp, but we just got new Marshall cabs and play EVH amps. We just got Randall from Marty Craven. He's really sick. Kirk Hammett amp. It's got 3 channels. Got a Plexi sound and it's got good tones. It's like 100 and something watts. So we got to tone it down a little bit at rehearsal.
Well, I think Eddie Van Halen was one of your main influences in music, right?
Oh yeah. I got a Schecter guitar for all the whammy stuff for Eddie Van Halen, you know, for the dive bombs. Yeah, Les Paul's, you know. I got a coil tab so I could split it if I want some single coil sounds.
Oh.
Yeah. So when we first approached DJ, we said, "Hey, man," we said, "we want you in the band." You know, but we had so many guitars in the band. I played guitar. JT played guitar. So Tommy played guitar. Tommy D. And Tommy just retired, by the way. He's the guy that wears the white tie. If you see our pictures, and he just retired. But he's only 61, but he just retired. But anyhow, so
retired from music, right?
Yeah, just from music. But he still hangs out with the band. He still comes out with us. He still helps us load in and load out. And actually, we're going to see him tonight. We're going to go out to Sundance Saloon tonight and check out a couple of shows. So we invited him. We said, "Hey, man, you want to play bass for us?" He's like, "Well, I don't know, man. Let me think about it." Because, you know, I'm not really sure. So he calls up, a few days later. He goes, "Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. Okay, so cool. So me and him we go shopping for a bass guitar, you know, something he likes, you know, and comfortable with, and we picked out a Thunderbird, and you know,
Actually, wearing the Thunderbird right here.
Oh, there you go.
Sure.
There you go.
Yeah. So now we're playing, and we're and then as we progressed, you know, we kept changing instruments. You guys remember that? We kept changing instruments.
We should be called the musical chairs.
I was playing bass. I wound up playing bass on about 4 songs, right? Because I was playing guitar back then. I wound up playing bass on 4 songs. You would play bass most of the time, and we just kept switching off. And Tommy would play some bass, you know, and then he'd go back to his guitar.
Everybody had to play bass so I could play the guitar.
Right, exactly. We wanted him playing guitar.
It's a good thing you decided to play bass, though. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here playing guitar, right?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Basically, yeah.
That's a great point. It's a great point. But
you know, it made me really appreciate bass players more because learning finger style and playing bass parts actually taught me a lot about rhythm, syncing up with the drummer, which I actually started playing drums first, kind of like Alex and Eddie. They both played drums.
Right.
And I started playing guitar just because my brother I could never keep up with on the drums. We used to jam with our dad, and I could never beat up my brother on the drums. I can still beat him up, though.
I didn't hear anybody say JT played bass.
No, he actually never did. He never did.
No, you never did.
Must be a reason.
I think you're next.
I think I got my first guitar when I was like 17. In high school, and then I went to this place. I think it might have been Sounds Music. It was on Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling, and I bought a Japanese Strat, and I used to plug that into my stereo and just self-taught. Just got to learn the dexterity. How do you time your both hands and pluck notes and some rudimentary stuff. I probably picked up a lot of bad habits. But that's all I ever did was sit on the edge of my bed and try to.
So you never had a lesson?
I never had lessons. I tried to play guitar, learn how to play a little guitar. My heroes were Richie Blackmore and Tony Iommi and Ted Nugent, and I liked hard rock, heavy metal.
You're still
and that was the only guitar I had when I started to jam in Lenny's basement. Was this Japanese Strat? I forget the name of it. There's no label or anything on it.
Right.
And then once we decided that we were going to get serious, I mean, Lenny came. He called me up one day and goes, "Hey, what if we play George's Party?" And I go, "Are you crazy? Have you heard us?" Because we were doing more drinking than anything else, Friday nights. And Lenny's like, "No, we could do it." And I could tell that he was really wanting to do it. And I was like, well, I didn't want to go out there and embarrass myself, but I said, okay, I'll do it on one condition, that we add a second night of rehearsal a week. And it's going to be Tuesday night, no booze, no party. This is business. And he said, okay. He called everybody else up and they said, okay. So that we would rehearse twice a week, every week, to get ready for this party. And then he said, well, we're going to do the Cubby Bear. And I go, are you crazy? Well, after George's Party, we learned a few things. And when we did the Cubby Bear, we actually pulled it off. And now I'm thinking, hey, we could do this.
You build up some confidence, right?
We built up some confidence. And we actually got through all the songs without anybody making a major screw up. We didn't have to stop in the middle of a song and say, hey, wait a minute, start over. Yeah. So I'm thinking, hey, we can do this. And so then I went out and I bought a real Strat. I went to Guitar Center. I bought a nice Strat. I'm a Strat guy. I love Strats.
Yeah.
And I just love the sound of them and the playability. And I bought a Marshall. I bought a DSL 40 CR combo amp. And I just love the sound of a Strat out of a Marshall. That's always been music to my ears. And then we wanted to play Sweet Child of Mine. I go, well, I can't. And DJ was in the band now. He goes, you can't play that on a Strat. So now I'm looking at, Les Pauls, and I found a great deal on a Les Paul, and I bought that. So I have a Les Paul. I got a bunch of.
So now you can play Sweet Child of Mine.
I can play Sweet Child of Mine. Yeah. When
top in the town.
His Les Paul was $10,000. Mine was $200.
I wouldn't go that far, but
well, now he switches guitar every song.
Well,
you have the right sound for the right song, right?
I always wondered why. I'd go to the gigs and see guys with racks of guitars. I go, why do they got so many guitars? Yeah. Well, now I got to figure it out. He wanted to play even flow with the drop D. Well, you can't retune your guitar in the middle of a set to play that song.
Right.
So
on a floating tremolo.
You need a guitar for that song and a floating tremolo. Yeah. So now I have three guitars. I got the Strat. I got the Strat for even flow. I got the Les Paul for Sweet Child of Mine, Rolling Stones. Some of this, So for the right song, I use the right thing. But I've learned a lot. Obviously, playing now for 4 years with these, and then Chris is a phenomenal drummer. But in my own opinion, I've never heard a drummer in a cover band that can play drums the way Chris Arrigo can. He's got a certain beat and a rhythm to him, and he hits them hard, really hard. I mean, he's a good drummer.
He's a banger.
I've never heard anybody that was better than him.
He's solid.
He's really solid. And DJ is one of the top guitar players in the state, if not the United States. This guy is unbelievable. His leads and solos and what he can play. And Jim Petty is a professional bass player. So, Lenny and I, now we're sitting there playing with these guys, and it's like, it raises our game too. I have to keep up with these guys, and I've learned a lot about it. Song structure and all that. And something I grew up in the 70s, late 60s, 70s. So, for us, music was everything. We didn't have video games. You were outside playing baseball.
Right.
Or you were listening to music.
I drive down the street and I never see kids outside. See kids outside.
No.
Too much screen time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I always say the drummer drives the band. Drummer's driving the bus. He's in control. And you follow him. And if you got a good drummer, that's important.
Yeah, that rhythm section is really, really important. I learned that between Jim and Chris, they really drive the band. These guys are great, with their solos and guitar, but that rhythm section really helps the vocals too.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm definitely learning from these guys.
Well, the better the drummer, the more fun I have.
Right. So now, Jim, I see you're wearing a Fender shirt. I'm guessing you as a precision guy, right?
Well, I've been playing a jazz
Fender jazz
for a while.
Okay.
And it's funny you say that because I just bought a 5-string. It's a precision.
Charvel.
It's a Charvel with a precision pickup and a jazz bass pickup.
You get paid by the string?
Pretty much. Yeah. It gets paid by the G string.
But I've been playing 5 strings for 30 years now.
Oh, have you?
I really like the extended range. But I miss the P bass sound.
Right.
And I was playing. I have a Mike Lowe jazz bass, 5-string that sounds awesome. I can use it for just about anything except getting a P bass sound. And I kind of wanted to go back to that. So last Tuesday, I found this bass, 5-string with the P bass pickups, and it's exactly what I was looking for.
There you go. Very cool.
I played it last night for the first time at practice, and I felt right at home again.
It's nice when it all falls into place like that, huh?
Yeah. Our Fridays, he said last night, our Fridays, we have rehearsal every Friday. Unless we have a show on Saturday, then we'll either skip it or maybe we'll do Tuesday. So every week we either have a rehearsal or a show. Okay. But sometimes our rehearsals turn into shows because people come by. We have a really nice setup and, sound system. We got lighting, we got bar, we got pool table, we got everything. Card table.
You say you play cards afterwards or what?
Yeah. We actually don't play cards that much anymore because everybody wants to jam all the time. But people come by to see us. So sometimes we'll go, so we try to rehearse for a set, for our set list, for our set. And, but then people come by and then we put on a little bit of a show. Let's not play that song. Let's not learn the arrangement to the song tonight. Let's just play, our
stuff
set.
we know.
Let's
right?
put on a show tonight. Let's put on a show. So that's what we do. So we have fun on Fridays. Unless we're playing a show, then we have fun at the show. But yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing it right now.
So what do you got way of shows coming up?
We're playing at Edison Park. That's a bigger venue, Edison Park. I don't know if you guys know Edison Park,
right.
Outskirts of Chicago. April 9th, we're upstairs in a big room.
Up near Park.
Park Ridge.
Park Ridge.
Right next to Park Ridge. Actually, it's right down the street from Firewater.
Okay.
Yeah. So, which is another good place. But Edison Park Inn, they call it EPIs. It's upstairs. It's a great place. And then we got a couple of shows. We got the Pharmapalooza we usually do. Northwest Side Reunion. I don't know if you guys know about that, but that's in July. But it's hard to book some shows because, it's like there's so many, there's this many bands and there's this many venues. You know what I mean? So.
Well, right now, a lot of people are saying it's hard because they're trying to make up on the lost shows from the last couple of years. They're honoring contracts from last year. So
exactly. And, they're also in a rotation too. Like, these bands have their foot in the doors with these venues. It's kind of a rotation. They rotate these bands through. So it's hard to get into some of these places, but we're actually playing some bigger venues and some different venues, and we're branching out. So we're getting a lot of play. We got over 5,000 followers on Facebook, which our Facebook page is the Wiseguys Chicago. The Wiseguys. So there's a few bands called the Wiseguys, but if you type in the Wiseguys Chicago, we'll pop up.
Okay.
We're also on Instagram, Wiseguys the Band, and we have a website, wiseguystheband.com. But yeah, that's where we're at. So
Tell them about the Elmhurst show.
Yeah, we just played the Freedom Fest in Elmhurst. What a show! Great venue, great stage, sound, lighting. Put on by Brian Mitchell from Freedom One Entertainment. Just a great venue. We had a lot of fun there, and there should have been more people there, but it's people are just starting to come out of their basements now. You know what I mean? Because of, COVID's kind of ending now. And I think we're going to start having more fun now. People are getting more comfortable getting out there,
And a little bit looser, right?
a little bit looser, right? So hopefully, yeah.
How'd you guys survive COVID? Just rehearsing?
Yeah, we did in the beginning. You know what we did in the beginning? We tried to hook up all this stuff, and we can do it from each other's house, like virtual stuff.
Yeah, it's not easy.
And it's not easy because there was like a lag and this and that, but we kind of did. We had some fun, right? We had some fun with each other in the different houses. But we actually, during the lockdown, we played 6 shows that year, and a lot of bands didn't play anything.
Yeah, right.
And so we played 6 shows that year. The next year we played a whole ton of shows, last year we played a lot of shows also, but, it was, COVID kind of, locked everybody down, but it was kind of good for me because I actually got to work on my vocals a lot with Franco, my vocal coach Franco, and then with Rachel Williams. So I kind of like brought my game up a little bit. I put a lot of time in, a lot of lessons, a lot of breathing exercises, vocal exercises and things like that, And actually, I learned how to take vocal naps. You guys know what a vocal nap is?
I've heard of it. No.
A vocal nap is when you have a show coming up and you're getting kind of tired, you just kind of take. I'm not going to talk for an hour. Okay, I'm going to take a vocal nap. Things like that. But yeah. So yeah. That's basically how it went through COVID. Yeah.
So you guys went from playing, starting out 4 years ago or whatever, playing 4 or 5 songs as opening up for Smells Like Dave Grohl, to doing 3 hours now. So
yeah.
So what kind of material are you doing?
We do anything from Guns N' Roses, Pearl Jam. We'll do Gin Blossoms. What am I forgetting? We did Jimi Hendrix, Neil Young,
Van
Halen for sure, man. Oh, we love Van Halen. That was one of my things. My Van Halen was one of my favorite bands. Aerosmith was one of my favorite bands growing up. But
we're Grand Funk Railroads.
Yeah. Yep. Grand Funk. Nice. What else do we do? We got, and this was kind of hard for me, taking over as on vocals, because I had to learn all these songs. So what kind of helped me during COVID is I got to study my butt off and learn all the lyrics to all these songs. I had to learn 35 songs like that. Right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I probably know 50 right now that we do, but I had to play them over and over. I had to write them down. Right. But yeah, it was. You
didn't use a monitor for your
No, I've never used a monitor. I've seen a couple of guys do that, and I'm like, what are you looking at? And then I figured out, oh yeah, they're looking at the lyrics.
Yeah. That's cheating as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
because a good vocalist will be able to ad lib some words in there, exactly, and you never realize it.
Yeah,
am I wrong, Franco?
And we also built some chemistry too. Like I could screw up a verse or a song. We don't stop and turn around and look at each other. We just keep going. You guys will never know if we screwed something up.
Right. Right.
We built up some good chemistry over the years. Yeah. So.
Well, that's important. That's important. I mean, playing together. The more you play together, obviously, the tighter you're going to get.
Yes. Yeah. We had our first or second vocalist, lead singer. He would stop and turn around and look and say, "What are you doing?" Like during the show, and we had to like put a stop to that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you don't want to bring any more attention to it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So we've built up some good chemistry. Yeah.
Just follow the drummer in the bus.
That's right.
There you go.
So as I said, he's driving the bus, right?
Yeah, and Jim's he's the wheels. He keeps rolling.
I actually started out as a drummer myself, my musical background. When I was a youngster, I always wanted to play drums, and I played in the school band. I played drums in the school band. But then I gravitated towards guitar when I got older. I always wanted to play like acoustic guitar in a campfire. You know what I mean? That was like, that'd be awesome for me to do. But I didn't buy a guitar till like 20 years ago. You know, then I bought a couple Strats, you know, for my kids to play. And, you know, they were so involved in sports and stuff that they didn't have much time to play, you know. So I played more guitar than they did. But yeah, my
you wanted to go to waste, right? So you
no, heck no. Now you don't know how many guitars I have now. I just built my own guitar actually, but yeah, I built a badass Les Paul. We call it the Lenny Paul. Yeah,
oh, nice.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
it's chromed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. GJ loves to play it.
It's gonna be my guitar.
Was it a kit you put together?
Yeah, I bought the kit from Solo Guitars out of Canada. It comes in a box, you know, and it comes with the guitar neck and you know the guitar body. The guitar body, you can buy it finished or unfinished. You know, I bought it finished because you know it's just too hard to finish it. You know, get that right finish. But I wired it and everything, and then I put the whole thing together, and I played it and it sounded great, right? And then I said, you know what? I want to put some Seymour Duncan Seth levers in it. So I upgraded my pickups because Seymour Duncan Seth levers, and the thing sounds great. And I bought the Gibson Les Paul toggle switch with the wiring, and the thing sounds great, man. It really does.
No problems with the neck?
No, you know what? I took it and I got a little setup on it, and the guy said, man, I barely need a setup. This sounds great. Yeah, and we got some nice NYXL 1052 strings on there. Yeah.
The frets are great on that. I wasn't expecting the frets to be that good.
Yeah. That thing's got a great look to it, too.
So I've thought about doing it. I know some guys who've done that, but I'm always worried about the neck, you know. Neck not being the right feel or something for it.
Yeah, no, this one actually feels like a old Gibson baseball bat. It's like 60s neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's more of a vintage style, actually, guitar, you know, if you think about it. But it's got the bolt-on neck, you know. And the thing sounds great, man, with the pickups. It's got some hot pickups.
I love it.
Yeah.
I want one. I'm going to have to build my own now.
You want that one.
I want that one, but I can't have it.
Yeah.
Well, it's ours, right? It's the Wiseguys.
It's ours. Yeah, we actually have, like, you know, we're the Wiseguys, right? But if anybody were to leave the band, it's okay. Somebody would come in because the Wiseguys have all the equipment. We actually have two sets of equipment. We have one for our rehearsal studio, and that stays there. It stays there. And then we have a travel. Okay, we have a trailer full of the same exact gear, equipment, amps, everything identical. So, you know, for our shows.
That's cool. That's good.
For our live shows. Yeah.
It's way better than running up and down the stairs.
Yeah, we don't we don't carry stuff in and out of the rehearsal studio.
Except for your guitar, right?
Exactly. Except for the guitar. And Jim's 4 basses.
I'm spoiled now because I used to have to haul every piece of equipment and PA gear.
So you got a PA too?
Oh man, we got everything. We got subwoofers. We got everything. We got
3 PAs.
We have different size PAs. We do for whatever venue you want. But yeah, we got. You should see our setup, our lighting system. We got a nice lighting system because I really feel that you got to put on a show. Okay, I know.
You're there to entertain.
You're there to entertain. The music is a lot of it. But again, you have to put on the show. You have to look good, And I tell these guys, hey, guys, you guys got to look good on stage. You got to, watch your carbs. You got, yeah, you do. You got to work out a little bit. I like to work out myself, but I tell the guys, you guys got to look good for the stage because we're putting on the show.
I lost 30 pounds already.
Why are you pointing at DJ?
DJ's doing good. DJ's doing good. Yeah.
Congratulations, DJ, and 30 pounds.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, and then you got Franco. Franco, look at Franco. He's fucking badass. Look at him. It's okay.
He's our designer, our designer too. He makes us dress good.
Well, Franco, he's got the theatrics about him, you know, and he comes over and he says, none of you guys got to do this. You got to do that. You got to show more of this, show more of that. And Franco is like more theatrical because he's in opera, you know. So Franco helps us a lot with that part of it. Yeah.
So Franco, how long you been doing opera?
I've been doing opera for about 40 years myself.
Wow.
I started in rock and roll. In fact, I played with Jim when I was 17. I think we played a gig together, and
I was 14.
he was 14, and yeah, I wanted to be a rock star, and I wanted to be Robert Plant, and didn't know anything about physiology or vocal quality. And, I'm singing falsetto most of the time. And so I went in, remember phone books?
Sure.
I just opened it up and found voice teachers back then. And I just found a guy, his name's Carl Lorenz. He's a wonderful voice teacher up in Hoffman Estates. And he used to sing with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra under Schulte. And he said, I hear something. If I taught you a few classical things, would you do it? And I kind of fell into it. And then I really loved it, but I never stopped loving rock and roll. And, so I know we're of very similar generations. So, I saw Zeppelin and when they were here in the old stadium and all the great Chicago bands off Broadway, Million Time Your Band several times. Cheap Trick thousands of times. And I always have that. And so when Lenny came by and asked for, and the drummer before Chris was also a friend of mine who was playing with the Wiseguys. And he goes, Lenny might want to switch over to vocalist. Would you teach him? And I said, yeah, sure. If he'll follow my technique, because I have I'm very technical driven. So I didn't want, but Lenny is really a hard worker. And I have to say, from where he was 2 years ago to now it's like climbing Everest. He really took it seriously. And we rehearse. We have a lesson every week. He's got another voice teacher that he studies with. So he's getting, good different points of view. But from, on opera, so it was like, you got to put on a show. I mean, it's a rock show.
Right.
You can't just be guys in t-shirts and, you're...
Have your shoes nailed to the floor.
Huh?
Can't have your shoes nailed to the floor.
No,
Stand on one spot.
I remember Plant and Deep Purple and these guys, they embodied the emotional side of these songs. And and Lenny, he's in the concrete business. I said, Lenny, you have a great business, but you can't be Lenny the concrete guy and Lenny the rock star. You have to find that part of you that makes you want to get up on stage and open your soul and get emotional with these. And then he put this band together, and DJ Jim and JT and Chris too. I mean, they effing bring it, and Lenny has started to see a different side of his personality. And I said, make sure you take care of your wife, because once you're up on stage and those girls start getting up there, you don't get in trouble. Make sure you take her on a nice vacation.
That's for sure. Yeah. I do. Yeah.
Why am I not surprised that somebody in the Wiseguys is in the concrete business?
Well, we kind of make cement shoes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, make any shoes? That's it.
Yeah, I did that.
All sizes.
Yeah, I had a guy come in the shop one day in the office, and he says, and he owed some money, right? So I grab a tape measure off the counter, because we sold tape measures and all that, and I bend over and I'm measuring his shoes, right? His feet. And he says, what are you doing? I says, I'm measuring your feet. I said, because if you don't pay your damn bill, I'm going to make you some concrete shoes.
There's a river right over there.
Yeah, that's actually a true story, but yeah. But yeah, no. So music business is way better than the concrete business. I'll tell you that. We're having fun. Yeah.
So we can find you on Facebook and at Wiseguys, the band on the website.
Yeah, Wiseguys the band on Instagram and wiseguystheband.com. And then Wiseguys, the Wiseguys Chicago, because there's a few other bands.
Right.
Named the Wiseguys. There's one in New Orleans. There's one in I think Indiana. There might be another one, and then there's us. But we're better than them.
Of course, you're from Chicago.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Are you all Italian?
Well, pretty much. I think I have a little Italian in me. I think Italian Irish.
I'm half Italian and half German.
Oh, German. Okay, I have a little German in me too. Actually, if you go back a little further. The reason the Wiseguys came, like I said,
So you're the real Wiseguys.
we're the real Wiseguys. Yeah, but
Forget about it.
it's because we were older. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're going to be playing a lot of shows, and we're trying to actually, break into some of these difficult venues to break into. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So look for us. We just did a nice show. You can see we have a nice video that we played at our last show. It's on our website. It's on our Facebook page too. So.
And we'll be sure and check that out.
Yep. Definitely.
Thanks, guys, for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
I know you made a long trip from Northbrook right down here to Joliet.
Oh, don't worry. It only took us this guy. I'm not kidding you. He had the Range Rover up to 110 miles an hour.
It felt like we were going 30.
Yeah. I think you're right. It's nice. Yeah.
All righty, guys. We'll see you out and about somewhere, hopefully this summer.
Sounds good,
Sure,
man.
check out the Wiseguys.
Yes, for sure. Rock and roll. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was the Wiseguys. Winds up probably could help you with your situation.
They just might. I can't believe he's got his own concrete business.
Yeah, Lenny's got his own concrete business, and he can maybe help you out with those shoes you're trying to fit.
That's right. I'm into import and export myself.
I see.
A lot of people don't know that about me.
What are you importing?
You wouldn't want to know.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. It's be beneath you.
I see.
Speaking of beneath, no, never mind. Never mind. So that was good talking to them guys.
Yes, it was. Very entertaining, and
My kinds of people.
that's right. Very, very cool. Very cool band.
They got great sound. Nice. They do some good material. Got some good musicians in there.
Yes, they do. And it sounds like they'll be fun to go see.
Most
So go check them out, people. As soon as you can. Go to their website, wiseguysband.com,
.com.
right? Or Wiseguys on Facebook.
Wiseguys Band, I believe, on Facebook. Or is it Wiseguys Chicago? Wiseguys Chicago on Facebook. Wiseguysband.com. Wiseguys Band on Instagram.
That's right.
That kind of rhymed there.
That's right.
I'm kind of like a poet, My feet are Longfellows too.
I bet they are.
So, once again, coming to you live or recorded from the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66 in beautiful downtown Joliet. Visit them at roadtorock.org and sign up today to be a charter member.
Okay, I will. I'll do that.
You better have. You should have done it a long time ago.
I've already done it a long time ago.
Okay.
But we were just talking to Andy from the Rock and Roll Museum.
That's right. He's one of the board of directors. He's here today doing some work.
And he's very knowledgeable about the history of music.
Very. And he was working on a wall. And I went up and asked him, I said, you was putting somebody inside that wall that you're covering up there? He said, no.
No, he said, don't be a wise guy.
That's right. He said, no wise guys here.
So wise guys have left the building.
They sure have.
So Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music that's played on this podcast.
The music is used to promote the band or musicians that are interviewed.
Chicago.